This channel is supported by my online fishing courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner, as well as my books, including my latest book, Fishing the Edge, Techniques and Tales from Surf, Boat, and Kayak. You can learn more about the books at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon. All right, good morning. Hey, this is what I consider just like an absolutely ideal day to fish. I love this overcast, nice and comfortable. It's calm. Yeah, we'll see. So, shallow bay fluke fishing. This has really been my best play this year for catching fluke, better than the ocean. I'm on eastern Long Island, South Shore. All right, well, we'll see what happens. It's been good. Hate to be too optimistic. Okay, just setting up for my second drift here. First drift, that wasn't quite the direction I had expected it was going to go. But all right, I'll adjust. So I've got current coming behind me. I've got just a little bit of a breeze coming at me, so I'm going to run that motor, the trolling motor there, at about 5 to 10%, and just to keep me going along with the current at roughly 1 mile an hour. I'm fishing about 8 to 11 feet of water, 3/4 ounce bucktail on the bottom, a foot above that, a Gamakatsu bait holder hook, and a 4-inch gulp grub. I'll have links to all the gear in the video description, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Oh yeah, there we go. No doubt about that one. Nice fish. Oh. Damn. Oh. Jeez. So I've just put the motor on spot lock. You can see the kayak turning. This will hold me there so I won't lose any of my drift while I deal with this fish. So note the fish hit the bucktail. The last couple of trips, all of the trips actually, the bucktail's been taking way more keepers than the teaser for me, and a big part of that is just using a very lightweight one, as light as you can go, 3/4 ounce. No problem. You're lucky I've got fish in the fridge. Yep, all keepers are going back this time. It seems like every other trip or so I do that. Hey, if I've got fish in the fridge, I mean, I'm not going to freeze this stuff. It's not like I'm taking it to Florida with me in the winter. So, yeah, every other trip, especially in the kayak, I'm going to release them. And speaking of the kayak, yeah, this is a weekday, so this is really nice, but I still got to watch those boat waves. And two things I look for is I look at the types of boats that are going by, like those big sea rays that displace a lot of water. Those can be tough. The other thing I note is, all right, these are center consoles going fast. Normally they're not an issue for me, but when they're stacked up like that, a few in a row, I really got to watch the waves because they kind of work together sometimes. This is a really good kayak. This is not a problem for me here. However, if I was broadside in the breaking part of the waves, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. That, you know what, I could imagine rolling in that. But in this case, I'll just turn the bow in and ride through it. But certainly if you kayak fish in an area like this, I mean, you've got to be watching all the time, not just, you got to watch how many boats, what kind of boats, how fast they're going, sometimes how slow they're going. The slower ones are pushing more water and making a bigger wake most of the time. So, yep. And by slow, I don't mean 5 miles an hour. I mean the ones that plow at like 12 miles an hour. Those are the tough ones. All right, hey, I've gone some time here without anything. I've moved. I'm in an area now, the water's a little clearer. The surface current is pushing. It's weird because I've got the wind against the current. You see there's a chop there. I'm initially using the motor to cut down on the wind component, but the upper current's moving so hard, I'm actually scoping here. So it's kind of bizarre as I'm trying to figure this out. The water's a little cleaner, about 2 degrees cooler. I gotta try something. Yeah, nice fish. Huh? Just don't want the leader doing that. Okay. Definitely a keeper. So that fish, that line was really kind of scoped out when I hooked up, and so I've actually gone up to a 1 ounce. I haven't had to go above 3/4 ounce yet this year, but for this spot under these conditions, and this is more like 11 to 14 feet, just slightly deeper. Oh, and that fish, that was 2 hours and 20 minutes between the first and the second keeper. That is that by far the longest dry spell I've had bay fishing this year. This is about my 5th trip. Yeah. So, but hey, you keep at it. I've made a move. I'll get him. And this is the top of the next drift. Hey, so that orange flag, I had a boat pull up alongside me at center console and thanked me for flying that flag. He said, even in a center console, he finds it hard to see these guys in kayaks without flags. And yeah, that's a nice bright one. He said, I stick out like a sore thumb. So, yeah, you want to be visible out there. So I am getting decent short action. Every time I hook a short, actually any fish, I'm going to just hit that spot lock, hold it, staying on the drift here. Especially important now. You can see that current's really moving here. So I don't want to lose ground every time I have to unhook a fish. And it seems like no matter where I'm fishing this year, whether it's here or the Sound or even some parts in the ocean, there are a lot of short fluke, a lot of really small ones. Hey, that's a great thing for the future. Makes me wonder how we can screw that up. I mean, there's just so many smalls. I just think fluke have been in a downward slide for a long, long time. Seeing all these little ones, I don't know. I don't want. I hope it really pans out that we're going to have more Fluke in the future. Hey, you got to start with little ones, so it's a good sign. Yeah, all that beeping you're hearing, that's me micro-adjusting the motor. Hey, I can maintain a perfect drift exactly as I want it, so that's what I'm doing. Yes, that's a good opportunity to just change that grub out. But, I'm also offering a little larger profile once in a while. These are the 5-inch swimming mullets. And the color, it's white but with that fire tail. Just a little influence when I went to the guys who work in the Berkeley labs. I was at a thing in Houston this winter, and when color was discussed, the one thing they stressed was contrast. So I just think about that when I choose the color, thinking that, okay, you've got that white and that, bright orange tail, so there's contrast. So, yeah, that's my thought process, putting that on. Just giving them a little bigger profile as well. This is, I think, good. I'm pretty sure. Check them. Yeah, the New York length limit is 19 inches, so just for my own knowledge, I want to see if that's a keeper, and I've got a mark on the stick. And, yep, he does not. He was going back anyway, but he's a little bit under 19. So I really prefer the grubs to the swimming mullets. One thing I don't like about the swimming mullet is that they're, to me, a little bit too thick. And when I hook them, I keep that in mind and try to keep the hook shallow. Otherwise, if you hook it right down the middle, there's very little bite on the hook. So. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Oh, that was a heavy one. I can't help but think, yeah, it could have been on the mullet. Oh, a little bit thicker, not enough bite on the hook. I've moved. I'm back in my in the original spot where I started, and the tide that had been incoming is just starting to go out. All right, I'm just going to let these, I'm going to put the bow into these waves a little bit. You know, one of the things is dealing with the waves if you're distracted is an issue. So I just want these behind me before I deal with this fish. Yeah, it's a real nice bay fish here. So the wind really came up after that one. I didn't stay much longer, so I started heading for the launch. Yeah, is that really necessary? Yeah, I don't get it sometimes. I'm the only craft for at least a quarter mile. It's not like he's jumping my wake, you know. Oh, well, that's just the way things are on the water sometimes. All right. So the total catch was actually 46 fish, 5 of which were legal size. So, hey, you know, good action. It's great to see so many fluke, and hopefully it's for a good future. All right, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Check out my online courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner. And don't forget my books, and you can learn more about those at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon.